Hi everyone, I'm here to walk you through our article analysis, the NewsELA assignment for this week, which is going to be due on Wednesday. I'm going to have you read and annotate this article and answer some questions, which are on a different slide, like this, and upload both of these assignments by Wednesday, the 25th. So let's get started. The purpose of this assignment, which is our learning objectives. I can use rereading and annotating strategies to find the meaning of the article. These are the same rereading and annotating strategies that we have been working on for the past couple of weeks in ELA. And just expect this type of assignment to be a regular occurrence. Expect that every time or any time that you have to read material for the class, you will be expected to do these two strategies in order to understand the meaning of whatever we're reading. Okay, second objective, I can explain my thoughts and responses to the article in writing. So that particular objective goes more with the questions assignment, which I will be talking about in the next video. All right, so what exactly do I want you to do on this assignment? Here are the directions. I'm going to read out these directions to you, and after every step, I'm going to show what I do with that step on the actual first couple of paragraphs right here, okay? So we know that we're going to be reading this article all the way through. We are not skipping words or lines. We are paying attention. We are awake. Number two, at the end of every paragraph, stop and ask yourself, what did I learn? That is the magic question. And in docs, I want you to annotate by highlighting in the color pink your answer to the question of what did I learn? So let me show you how to highlight. This toolbar up at the top here is the same pretty much across all of the Google apps, whether it is slides or docs or sheets or forms or whatever. So right up here where I'm clicking is the highlight icon, and you see that you have this entire spectrum of lovely colors to highlight. So when you're answering the question of what did I learn, I want you to highlight that in pink. So just highlight the word with your finger by doing a long tap, or if you're using a mouse, your cursor, click the highlight icon, and pink is right here. So if I run over here to my article, and I'm looking at the first paragraph, I'm going to read this and I'm going to highlight what I think is the main idea, what I learned from this paragraph. Okay, so in a neighborhood in Boston, Massachusetts, residents came from their apartments for a flash mob on March 14. The neighbors waved to each other and joined in singing the Beatles song Let It Be. One of the residents, a professional musician, played for a sing-along of Lean on Me by Bill Withers. All right, there's the end of the paragraph. I'm going to stop right here. This paragraph, I notice, is only 2 sentences long. And I think what I've learned, the most important thing that I learned here is that the neighborhood in Boston, Massachusetts, pretty much the first paragraph, residents of that neighborhood came together from their apartments for a flash mob on March 14. I don't think it's really important to note when this took place. This is a news article, so obviously this is very recent news. So I'm going to go here to my highlight icon and I'm going to click pink. And so there we go. You may notice that before I highlighted that sentence, the words flash mob are already highlighted in yellow. And what that is a comment by me where I give you the definition for what a flash mob is. And a flash mob, if we look on the right here, a flash mob is a planned gathering of several people to surprise others in a public area. So if you think about, like, let's say, people who perform on trains or subways, or every year in San Francisco, I don't know if they still do it, but when I went to school out there, every year on Valentine's Day, there would be a pillow fight in public right near the Embarcadero area, which is right by the bay. And that was a flash mob. Like, all the strangers would receive a notice on either Facebook or some other social media platform with directions of what to do. So bring a pillow, make sure there's nothing hard inside the pillow. You get the idea. Just so you know, throughout this whole entire document, if I just zoom out, let me show you, I have gone through and commented on certain vocabulary words that you need to know in order to understand the meaning of the sentence. And those are in yellow, which is why I don't want you to use yellow when you're doing your own annotations. If you look up here in the upper right-hand corner of the app, there's going to be a button that looks like a little talk bubble. And if you click on that, you're going to see this pop-out box of all of the comments that have been made on this document. So in this particular one, question 1, this is one of the questions from the assignment. You don't have to answer it here on the doc. I'm just putting it here as a reminder to you that this is one of the questions that you need to look at. Here is where I define the word institute. Here's where I define the word levity. And the reason why I'm giving you these definitions ahead of time is so that you can, first of all, understand the meaning of each sentence more clearly. And because I know that you yourself are going to need to look up words later on, you can choose words that are more appropriate to your own reading level instead of having to struggle with very difficult high-level sorts of words. Okay, so there's that. I want to flip back to the first slide so that we can move on to the next step. So read the paragraph again. In green, highlight sentences you will annotate later. And we know that annotate means QCPC, questions, comments, predictions, connections. Again, I will have a video for that later on. But in this step, I want you to highlight ahead of time what you're going to annotate later so that when you go back over the article, you know with exactly which ideas within the article to go back to. So again, I'm going to go up here. Here's green. Highlight in green any sentences you'll annotate later. And then finally, the last thing to annotate, using an orange highlighter right here, any words that you will define on your own later during the annotation step. So I'm going to do that right now. Green for any sentences to annotate later, and orange for words that I don't know. Oh, I forgot to return the pink on this. Okay. So let's read this second paragraph. During their show, they stayed more than 6 feet apart because of COVID-19, short for Coronavirus Disease 2019. The coronavirus is a flu-like illness that began in China and has been spreading across the globe since December 2019. Okay, so we are going to pretend that we have been living under a rock and we don't know what this name of the disease stands for. I would mark that with my orange, define that later. Okay, so in this particular paragraph, they do give you the definition in the second sentence right here. But in case I chose this so that I could write my own definition on the annotation, go ahead. All right, the coronavirus is a flu-like illness that began in China and has been spreading across the globe since December 2019. So if I want to do a comment on this, I'm going to go ahead and write right here, a flu-like illness. This is the part that I want to comment on because I want to know what kinds of symptoms are we talking about when we talk about flu-like. Is it like fever? Is it like vomiting? I want more specific, a more specific list of what the sickness looks like. So since that's a question that I have for later, I'm going to annotate that in green. And of course, pink would be for the main idea of this sentence, which is, again, only 2 sentences long. And here's an example of what to do when you may have two different colors for the same sentence. Because I think the main idea of this is telling us the meaning of what the word COVID-19 means. So I'm going to highlight around the green area that I want to go back to later. Okay, so there we go. All right, so this was the example for the rereading step. Please go on to the next video when I show you what an example of annotating is. Thanks. More later. Bye.